Siranush joined ICANN staff in 2016 and currently holding the role of Fellowship Program Manager at the Public Responsibility Service Department. She has over 30 years working experience with different international and local NGOs, including Save the Children Armenia, Habitat for Humanity Armenia, Project Harmony International, Care International, and in 2012 and 2013, she was ICANN at-large delegate to ICANN NOMCOM for Asia Pacific and Australia region from 2019 to 2016. From 2013 to 2016, she also served as the chair for Asia Pacific, Australia Pacific Islands Regional at-large organization in ICANN. Since February 2013, Siranush has been the board member of ICANN Armenia chapter. Since 2007, Siranush has been actively involved in internet governance issues. She is a Diplo Foundation alumnus, IG Capacity Building Training Program 2007, and an alumni of the first European Summer School of Internet Governance in Germany 2007, as well as an ICANN Fellow. She is also ICANN ISOC Ambassador for IGF 2010 and returning ambassador for IGF 2011. Next Generation Leader Program alumni and ISOC Collaborative Leadership Exchange Program alumni. So help me welcome Siranush. There's a round of applause. So Siranush, it's over to you.
Thank you very much, Frank. It's immense pleasure to be here at the 5th edition of Ghana School on Internet Governance. And I welcome all the participants. To start with, it's always great to be part of your School on Internet Governance because there are so many potential candidates coming to the ICANN Fellowship Program. So once again, it's my immense pleasure to be here. Raymond, can you share my slides, please?
Sure.
Thank you. And while the slides are uploading, my warm welcome also to the organizers, a great ICANN Fellows there. Frank, Raymond, Sarata, Lavish, it's so Godswe, so great to see all of you there, and Stefan, definitely. These are the guys who knows even more than I do about the fellowship program. So if there will be not enough time for us to talk, then these are the people whom you ask the questions, and they will give you definitely the perfect answers. And just to introduce myself to everyone, my name is Siranush Vardanyan. I am the ICANN Fellowship Program Manager, and thank you, Frank, for the detailed introduction as well about my previous experience. And I will be talking today about the ICANN stakeholder engagement, the journey which a newcomer can take while coming to ICANN, and what programs are available for you. Just to give a brief overview of Newcomers program, we do have ICANN Fellowship Program and ICANN NextGen at ICANN program. And I will be talking about those two in particular, those two programs in details. And the idea of implementation of those programs is bring new people, new friends to contribute to the evolution of the multi-stakeholder model. I'm sure you know about the ICANN already during your summer school there on internet governance, and you have an idea what is ICANN multi-stakeholder model, which includes business sector and user sector, technical folks, policymakers. So that means that everybody being a professional in a particular area has the word to say at ICANN. So I hope that those programs will be helpful for you to know and to start your journey. And talking about the fellowship program, it was launched at ICANN 29. So it's almost 17 years already. We are implementing this program more than 17 already. And we do have about 1,000 fellows already from all over the globe. The main goal of the fellowship program is foster opportunities for individuals to become an active participant in the ICANN multi-stakeholder model, as I said. The NextGen program at ICANN program is a university students, and it was launched at ICANN 49. So it's we will be celebrating 10 years anniversary for that program. And the main goal of that program is to invite the next generation to engage with ICANN. And I will be talking, next slide, please, the difference between those two programs and the way how you can apply. So the fellowship program is a global capacity development program. NextGen is a regionally based program. What does it mean? It means that whenever we are opening the round for accepting application for the fellowship program, anybody from any part of the world can apply for the program. And it doesn't matter where the ICANN meeting takes place. The NextGen program is different. It is only, for example, if ICANN 81 is in Istanbul, it is Asia Pacific region, then only students from Asia Pacific can apply for the NextGen at ICANN, which means it's regionally based program wherever ICANN meeting takes place. For any newcomer who are not coming through the fellowship or through the NextGen program, ICANN public meetings are open. There is no registration fee. So anybody who is able to come and join to the discussions can do that, can join. And we do also provide some resources for newcomers, which I will be talking as well a bit later. Next slide, please. The one limitation for the fellowship program ICANN policy meeting is that only those who are alumni can apply for the policy meeting. So for example, the recent one, ICANN 80, which took place in African region in beautiful Rwanda, only alumni of the program could apply, which means those who once had been fellow. That said, there is a difference between NextGen and fellowship also in the several times of participation. So to be a NextGen program participant, you can apply only once. For the fellowship program, one can become a selected fellow 3 times. And the idea behind this is the first time you can apply as a complete newcomer, you come and learn. We are providing resources, support, guidance, mentoring. The second time, you can be selected based on your identified multi-stakeholder community, which you want to be more engaged. And the third time, you can be selected already as a part of the community. So there is a 3 times limit for the fellowship program and 1 time limit for the NextGen at ICANN program. Another difference between those 2 programs is the NextGen program, which is for university students, which means by the time of the application, you should be engaged in the study, in the university, in your PhD, in any research. And there is an age limit from 18 to 30 years old. For the NextGen, for the fellowship program, which is a global capacity program, this is more for professionals. So you should be 21 and up, and there is no upper limit, age limit for this to apply for the program. Next slide, please. So whenever you are selected, and I will be talking about the process of submission your application, whenever you are selected for participation in particular ICANN meeting, ICANN supports with travel funding, accommodation, and we provide also stipend to cover the costs of attending ICANN meeting, including visa support and payment reimbursement and local transportation. The same is for NextGener. If you are a newcomer not selected for any of those particular programs, you can come on your own. And also you can have access to different training, capacity development training support during the ICANN meeting. Next slide, please. So to give you some overview of how those programs works is, there is an online application form. So you cannot send your CV, you cannot submit your application whenever you want to. There are specific application rounds, opening and closing dates. And I will provide you later also the links to the fellowship and to the NextGen programs where you can find specifically those announcements. Just the one which is upcoming for ICANN 82, which will take place in March 2025 in Seattle, United States. The application round for the fellowship program will be opened on July 18th, 2024. So in a couple of 2 weeks, about 2 weeks, the round will be open for the fellowship program for ICANN 82. So please take a note, if you are thinking of applying, then the application round is open only for 1 month and the system closes automatically. So we are not able to accept any application after August 18, when the deadline will be closed. So whenever you submit your application, we do have the selection committee members who are assigned from ICANN multi-stakeholder community, from supporting organizations and advisory committees. And the selection committee is doing the selection, the review, and the scoring of application. We usually receive about more than 300 applications for each ICANN meeting. The fellowship program is very competitive, so you need to prove that you are really strong candidate, and the selection committee members should read this through your application to be selected. Whenever the selection is complete, the selected candidates, we start the process of preparing this group to the ICANN meeting. The funding is going to selected 40 fellows for each round and 12 NextGeners for each round. So each of those selected people are receiving funding, are receiving invitation letters to apply visas if needed. Whenever they complete the logistics, the stipend, the bank accounts, all these email letters. We start the mentoring process. And we launch the mentoring process with also some mandatory ICANN Learn courses, which prepare this group for the coming ICANN meeting. And each selected candidate is assigned to a mentor who works with that particular fellow or NextGener to prepare for the ICANN meeting. Then when they are coming to the ICANN meeting, there are some mandatory capacity development activities for them to go through, and also the opportunity to engage with the ICANN community, to learn about different areas, and to learn also how ICANN works from technical point of view and from policy development point of view, which are two main pillars of ICANN. And then this group is submitting the post-meeting report, which is the requirement of the community. And for the fellowship program, the main purpose is to continue engagement within ICANN. So this is the entire process: the online application, selection, preparation to the meeting, participation at the meeting, and post-meeting activities. Next slide, please. To give you some information about the ICANN meetings, you might already know that there are 3 ICANN public meetings during a year, and every time we are going to different countries to make accessible the ICANN meetings to the countries where we are going. So the one of them, the first annual general meeting usually take place during October, November. It is the biggest meeting, 6 days. ICANN community active work there. There is public ICANN board meeting and also public forum where all the participants can come and ask directly the questions to the ICANN board and to the ICANN org executives. Community forum usually takes place during March every year, and the policy forum, which is the shortest one, 4 days only, and targeted only on policy work and also for the outreach in the host region. This happening usually in June. So these are 3 types of ICANN public meetings. And as I mentioned above, the policy forum, only limitation for the fellowship program is that only alumni can apply for this program. Next slide, please. So focusing on the fellowship program, as I mentioned, for each round, we select only 40 fellows and 5 mentors, which are assigned by the community. And these selected people are important source for identifying potential community members. So from wherever sector you are coming, there is always the place for you to engage within ICANN community. And we support those selected groups by honing the skills, by developing their capacity, by showing them the community in progress, and also support the returning applicants, the returning fellows there. Next slide, please. Up to now, we provided 1,627 fellowships, and you see the regional diversity here. The highest number also after Asia Pacific is Africa. We usually have a lot of applications for each round coming from Africa. So when I will encourage you, really think about your application, take time to copy the questions, paste, think about the questions, and then submit your thoroughly thought and strong application for the fellowship program. And you see the number 930 fellows, which means these are 930 individuals who got maybe twice or three times fellowships counted in 1,627. And there are 161 countries represented of those 930 fellows. Next slide, please. The NextGen at ICANN program, as I mentioned, only 12 are selected for each round, and 3 mentors are assigned from the community as well. And we encourage them also to learn about the ICANN. There is no direct objective that the NextGener can continue the engagement within ICANN, like this is an objective for the fellowship, but many NextGeners are coming back through the program or through the community. Next slide, please. And here are the numbers for the NextGen at ICANN program during the 10 years of implementation. Next slide. It's always very difficult when you are coming as a newcomer to the ICANN meeting, because ICANN meetings can sometimes be very overwhelming. There are so many discussions going on at the same time, but there are also resources available to make you prepare for the ICANN meeting. And the ICANN has the free online learning platform, which I really encourage all of you to sign up. And you see the link here, learn-icann.org. Sign up and start to take any courses under Newcomers. The resources are available for you. They are free, and you can get the certificate, which also can help you not only to apply for the fellowship and NextGen programs, but also in your own professional career, in your own region. There is also ICANN regional newsletters, and I really encourage you to follow the link and join African newsletter. There are monthly regional newsletters where you can find out what has been done and what is planned. So wherever is possible, you can become a part of it. I can run social media groups in Facebook, in LinkedIn, in Twitter, and every ICANN meeting also the full schedule. So those who are not able to join can always follow remotely. There are all the recordings available after the meetings, and so you can be part of hybrid ICANN public meetings by participating virtually. Some useful resources I highlighted here. ICANN is full of acronyms. Sometimes it's very difficult to come to ICANN for the first time and find out what these people are talking about. I myself came to ICANN as a fellow, and my first meeting as a fellow was like, why I am here? I don't understand anything. I don't know what they are talking about. So we do have acronyms and terms, and I encourage you to go to the link on the slide and look through those acronyms. One of the most important web pages for the newcomers is ICANN for Beginners. This web page has the entire information about the NextGen, the fellowship, and the important programs which are run by ICANN, because these are not only 2 programs, but there are a lot of other programs which are implemented by ICANN related to the technical, to the policy. There are thousands of working groups. Remember one thing, the meeting is in person is only 1 week, but the entire work by the community is done in between of the meetings. So it's always important to be in person, but if you are not able to be in person, there is always a space for you to be part of and make your voice heard, because ICANN needs you. ICANN community needs you, and we need new people, new friends come to ICANN and bring their regional perspectives, learn the global experience, get the knowledge of global discussions, and take back to the region. Like I see my fellow colleagues there came as an ICANN Fellow, gave the huge volunteer time to the ICANN community, being part of ICANN community, but also give back to the region by organizing School on Internet Governance. So this is the perfect example of how one person can be a part of ICANN community and then give back to the region. Next slide, please. And I assume this will be the last, one of the last slides. So there are different regional also engagement opportunities where you can become part of. You are already part of this type of School on Internet Governance. There are regional DNS forums. There are regional capacity building programs, webinars, workshops. And also there are regional readouts where after each ICANN meeting, our regional team is organizing the regional readouts and webinars for those who were not able to be at ICANN meeting in person. And next slide. Here you see links to the ICANN Fellowship Program, to ICANN NextGen program, and ICANN for Beginners webpage. So please review them. If you find yourself eligible to apply to any of them, as I said, for ICANN, the upcoming announcements, the application rounds will be open for the fellowship, will be July 18th. The NextGen for the students will be a bit later in August. So if you want to be a part of these programs and be part of ICANN community, then this is the chance for you to apply. Or follow us remotely also at ICANN 81, which will take place in November this year in Istanbul, in Asia Pacific region. And the last slide, please. Here are the links to our social media. And if you have any questions, there is always a way for you to contact by engagement@icann.org. With that, I will stop here and will take questions if any.
So a round of applause for Siranush.
Thank you.
So Siranush, there's one thing that you have to know. The fellows have taken 10 ICANN courses before coming here. So we did online sessions before coming here. So
This is super.
Yes, they are very versed in ICANN terms. Sure.
Excellent.
So
excellent.
Yeah. So
I see the questions. I see the hands.
Yes.
Let's go. Raymond, I cannot hear you.
Okay, so off. They just turned it off. Okay.
Okay, so the ICANN fellows here are myself, Jacob, Sarata, Frank, Stephen. They are all here to say thank you for always putting us in order during the fellowship time.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned God's Way, he's also here.
Yes.
Chile is also here. Where is he? Okay, actually from Benin is also here. Thank you.
And myself.
Obviously. Okay, just a quick one. I want to know if someone has been a fellow, if he has the chance to be a next general.
Yes, that's what I said. So we do have, recently we did some statistics, and out of 300 more next geners who were part of ICANN meetings, 53 became ICANN Fellows. So this is some kind of natural continuation of a NextGener student who is interested to continue the engagement and apply to the fellowship program. So yes, we do have 53 NextGeners who became fellows.
Siranush, I was asking if someone is already a fellow but want to apply to NextGen program.
This is good question, but actually, usually the students apply first for NextGen and then for the fellowship. There is no restriction. You can definitely apply. But the thing is that NextGeners are selected based on that this is their first time to be in ICANN. So they had never been in ICANN, they can apply, and this is their time to come with the research or with the presentation to introduce to the ICANN community. Usually it's vice versa. You become an NextGen, then a fellow, then rather than, we only had, I remember only one case when a fellow applied to the NextGen, but I think there is no more examples of that. Yes, please. I see the lady there, Raymond.
Yes, Siranush. So I know somebody who was a fellow and became a NextGen. I do want to mention his name since you said it's not possible, but I have friends who have done that.
I know. There are a couple of examples. So I do remember one from Africa, and I do remember one from Latin America, definitely. So there is no limitation on that. It's not the eligibility criteria that you cannot apply. But so the thing is that this should be usually your first ICANN meeting in order to apply for the NextGen program. This is not the criteria for the fellowship, of course. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Hi, Siranush. Yes, my name is Regine Bambara. I'm on my way to become a GhanaSIG Fellow. So my question is regarding some of the fellowship programs which required one to have social impact work, if I can say that, or voluntary in the curriculum. So what advice would you give for someone like anyone who want to apply but doesn't have any social work or voluntary in his curriculum, but still want to be eligible for the fellowship program? Because sometimes it can be scary. They will ask you, what have you done for your community? What are you planning to do? Meanwhile, you are now starting. You don't even have any idea or what is social impact in your community. You haven't identified anything. So what would be the best advice for you, from you, I mean?
Excellent question. Excellent question. So I do feel what you say, because I was a complete newcomer when I first came, and I was thinking there is nothing for me to engage because I don't know anything. I don't have technical background. I was not part of any technical community back in my country. So it is very hard. But to start with, my tip will be do some online research within your community. Find out what is like, who is the registry in your country, how many domain names, how the domain registry company works in your company. So to get the idea of, okay, if you apply and be selected, what will be your takeaway back to your community, where you can go and tell these people that, listen, I have this knowledge, I have this capacity development, I have this strong background now, knowing the global discussions, and now I'm here to give back to the community. Help me to find out more. That's the way how I did when I came back from my first ICANN meeting. I even didn't know how .am, where Armenia, where I am from, is running. So I started to learn about that. So give some time to yourself to learn about ICANN by taking some courses, the detailed courses, not only for newcomers, but the specific courses. Find out for yourself where you can contribute, where is your background coming from, and how you would like to contribute. And then start connect with your regional people. We have global stakeholder engagement team working in Africa, so you always can contact them, learn about them. You can become part of some training, capacity training on regional levels. And this is the way to start. When I said the fellowship program is very competitive, I mean, for newcomers, it's hard, but if you do some homework before applying and putting the like strategy in your application, the way how you envisage your participation, you can make your application pretty strong. So that will be my tip, to start to devote time to learn more and start to talk to people. Don't be afraid to ask questions. That's the important thing. If you stop yourself from learning, you will not go further. You should open your mind for learning, and then it will come. The resources are enormous. I hope I could answer to your question. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentations. In fact, this particular topic is very interesting to us as newcomers and those who aspire to become ICANN Fellows. I have 3 questions. My name is Abdurrafi Husseini, a GhanaSIG Fellow in the making. My question is, what are the challenges facing newcomers in navigating ICANN complex multi-stakeholder environment, and how can they be addressed? The second question is, how can ICANN Fellowship Program support the development of diversity, equity, and inclusion in the Internet governance community? And my last question is, how can ICANN stakeholder ensure that newcomers' voices are heard and valued in the ICANN multi-stakeholder environment? Thank you.
These are super great questions, and thank you for asking them. And I will start from the first one, how to navigate as a newcomer at ICANN meetings and what resources are available. So as I mentioned, we do have the online platform, the online learning platform, but for those newcomers who are coming to ICANN meeting, at the ICANN meeting, we do have onboarding sessions. On the first 2 days before the ICANN meeting starts, there are 2 days of full onboarding sessions, which is open to any newcomer, where we invite every multi-stakeholder community groups to come and to do the presentation. What are they doing? What are their main goals, and how someone as a newcomer can get engaged. So these 2 days full capacity development training for the people who are coming there. And also there is engagement booth, where usually fellows are supporting newcomers by answering questions, by directing them to particular sessions, and to guide you, to help you to navigate during the ICANN meeting. Because as you mentioned, this is a very intense meetings. Usually we do have more than 200 parallel sessions. And for newcomers, when you are coming and you don't know anything, you are completely lost. So these are the resources available on site. And before, there is also the prep week sessions, which we usually do online before the ICANN meeting starts. And before each ICANN meeting, there are special prep week sessions for 3 days remotely, so you can join any of them, or if the time zone doesn't work for you, these sessions are always being recorded. So you can, every time you can go download and listen to the sessions which are preparing the newcomers or updating those who are returning what will be taking place at our important updates and current topics being discussed at ICANN meetings. So this is the first question, and I hope you got the idea what resources are available for newcomers. The second question about diversity is we usually pay a lot of attention to the diversity, which includes race, region, sector of interest, gender, while selecting fellows and NextGeners. For example, just to give you the idea for ICANN 81 selected group, we recently announced 40 names, and those 40 represents 36 countries of the world, and they represent 25 of them are female, 15 are male. So we do also encourage female participation as well. And we also, and they represent all regions, the global world. So this is the group which shows the diversity at ICANN. And many of them are currently part of ICANN board. We have fellows now serving in ICANN board, leaders of different communities. So we pay attention to the diversity. So that's definitely one of the criteria for the selection committee members to go through. And the last question, if you remind me, what was the last question?
How can stakeholders ensure that newcomers' voices are heard and valued in ICANN multi-stakeholder environment?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned during ICANN meetings, we do have ICANN public forums. And also the sessions with the ICANN org executives. They are open mics. They are open mics, and anybody can take a mic and ask a question which concerns the person and make the voice heard. We usually those who are selected as a fellow or NextGener, we encourage them to ask questions, to bring the challenge with what they are facing in the region to the global discussions, to the people who are decision makers. So we want to make sure your voice is heard by open mic sessions and by anytime remote. If there is no ICANN meeting, there is always a place where you can contact and ask your question. Your regional stakeholder engagement team are the first key contact for you to address your concern. We do have the office in Nairobi. We do have also our regional team based in Benin, in Nairobi. So you might probably know already Pierre D'Angelo Yahovi, and our technical team, Okta team is there, Yazid, June Okal, who are also our regional team person. So if you go to ICANN for Beginners website, which is one of the links I presented, you can find out the link to regional stakeholder engagement team members, and definitely can contact your regional folks there by their email listed in the website.
Hello. Okay, so we have another question.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Raimi Nwati. I am a librarian from Benin Republic. I am also a GhanaSIG Fellow in training. My question is related to the letter of recommendation that is in the process of application to the ICANN Fellowship. So I would like to ask the person that is like the person that should be required, the most accurate person that can recommend our application. Is it someone who knows us in our community, or is it a person that is involved in the domain of internet governance?
Both, but definitely the person who knows you well. This is the first. And it doesn't matter. You can be a student and it can be your advisor. And he doesn't mean to be a person known in IG, internet governance. It can be you work in library. It can be your head of library who knows you well. So the first person who knows you well should be your recommendation, the person who recommends you.
Okay, thank you very much, Siranush. My name is Ephraim Akwete Mensah. I followed you on LinkedIn. Okay. My question is based on, I just want to know, so I just want to know when the fellowship would start. And I was not here. 18th.
You mean the application round when it starts?
Yes, please.
The next application round opening will be launched on 18th of July, 18th of July, 2024 at 23:59 UTC time.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so next question.
All right, thank you so much for the presentation. My name is Haruna Al Hassan, and then my question is in line with the recommendation. Like my friend here who has been an ICANN Fellow, can he recommend me?
Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
and also, how many people can a person also recommend?
So there are two recommendation names which needs to be put in your application.
Okay, I'm referring to the person who is going to recommend. Can he recommend more than 2 people?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
We do have a lot of fellow alumni who put their names for recommending others. So definitely they can recommend as many as they think worth getting to the fellowship program. Any other questions?
Yes, there is one last question.
Absolutely.
Hello, madam. My name is Maureen Owusu-Adai. I am a fellow in training. Thank you so much for coming today. It's a continuing part of his question referring to the application being able to start on the 18th, 23:59. Yes. Okay. What would you recommend any of us who are interested in specifically with the application? Whatever you would like to share would be great. The application is important. So I would like to know, what would you suggest to us at all?
Thank you. Great question. As I mentioned, the competition is high. The program is competitive indeed. And we usually receive more than only 100 applications from Africa only. So to shine out, to stand out your strength, you need to show in responses to your application to the people who don't know you and only read your application. So first of all, as I said, one of the tips, learn more about ICANN and show your knowledge of ICANN mission before you apply. So if you apply and saying, okay, I don't know where I want to go, I don't know what will be discussed, this is not the way to be a competitive applicant among others, right? But you are already a part of Ghana School on Internet Governance. You have some basic knowledge, at least, what is ICANN and how you want to contribute. So show your strength. Show that, okay, for example, I'm coming from the not technical background person, but I do know that there are some challenges my country or me as an end user is facing. So here where I can bring my voice on global discussions to help to understand my regional challenges and find the solution for from global discussions. So you already show your application that you have the passion to go further, to make your voice heard, to show your strong personality. And this it's hard because you cannot tell it by looking at people's eyes, but you should write it in a way that the person who doesn't know you read and see your strength. Yes, you should shine out. You should show by words. So this is very hard, but if you have the capacity and the passion, you definitely can put something strong in your application.
Thank you, Siranush.
I'm looking forward seeing your applications coming for the next round.
Yes, sure. So, is there any online? Okay, so I think we've asked all the questions. So, Siranush, there's one last question from Sarata.
Okay, Sarata, so great to see you. These are fantastic fellows, guys. You are so lucky having them there.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Siranush, mine is not a question, but to encourage our fellows. I did it 3 times before I got it. Yes, some did it more than 3. GhanaSIG, some applied more than 3 times before they got it. So it's a privilege, but you've also said to yourself, I am going to work myself out there. So after today, as I said, it is just the beginning. Let's engage out there. Siranush has said a lot. We are going on the global ecosystem. And I'm proud I met her. It wasn't easy. So you all know it's not been easy, but you will enjoy it. That's why we have the networking bit. In addition, those who are following Siranush, you would like her pages, you comment. That is how we network. Then you go and meet some big bosses out there. Siranush will connect you. Yes.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much on behalf of EGIGFA. We are grateful for you joining us once again. Thank you.
Sarata, I should thank you because you are the amazing example of the perfect fellowship program participant. And as always, we fellows said, once a fellow, always a fellow. So it's a pleasure to be a part of this. I, again, appreciate the invitation, and I welcome also your new students there. And I'm looking forward seeing my old friend faces in the ICANN meetings, but also looking forward to see new faces coming from Ghana School on Internet Governance. You rock, guys. You are great.
Yeah, we are very grateful for having you this afternoon.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's my honor to be part of it. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Bye. Enjoy the rest of your School of Internet Governance. Bye.